Welcome to Thoughts of Treasures. My name's Connie, and this is my craft room. I want to welcome you in. If you guys are new, please be sure to hit that follow or subscribe button depending on where you're watching so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I put out. I usually put about 4 out per week, and I don't want you to miss any of them. I do a lot with the laser. I do a lot with the Cricut. I do a lot with just different things. I have been focusing on a lot of the wood kits here lately just because we are doing Christmas in July, and I want to make sure that I can get them all out to you to show you. So don't think that you have to get them now. You don't. Whenever you're watching this, it's fine. They'll be available all the time. This is what we're going to be working on tonight. It is our little chunky gingerbread gnome. Let's call it that. Let's do a gingerbread gnome. He's got a little gingerbread that he's holding, and we're going to dress this up for Christmas, keeping it fairly simple. A lot of my kits are done with both 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch. Some of them not, some of them, but most of them do have a combination of both in there. You want to be mindful of that. With my 1/4 inch at the time being, right now, this is July of 2025. I do mask my wood just because of the laser I have. In order for it to go through, it needs a little more pressure. But I'm going to show you why I say that, because, so we're going to take our pieces off first. This shouldn't be too difficult, just because there's not a lot of different colors, but we're going to mostly do red and white, but it's okay. So I'm going to put all our red and white together just so that we know what we're doing. Let's just do the red, let's do the white first. All of our little white pieces. His nose is a peachy color, so we'll put that to the side. His little hat rim. I have to think of what these pieces are. We're actually going to do that white too, because we're going to put the red into it. And then we have his little mustache and his little hat. And we can just stick that onto the end there. So those are all our white pieces. Actually, technically, we're going to do this white too, because it's going to have the red stripes in it too. So these are all my white pieces. His hands, his hat rim. This goes in front of him. I don't really know what it is. If you don't want to put it there, you don't have to. And I might leave it off at the end. But it's like a little candy cane stripe. I don't know. We'll figure out. I may leave it off. I'm not sure I like it. But, I'm going to do it anyway. This is his little hat thing. You know, that little buckly where, anyway, that thing on his head. Then his mustache, and then his actual hat. So he is layered nicely. So those are all our white pieces. And I do like to put these all on different pieces of tape so that, you can kind of know what you're coloring. What you're painting, what color. And then on this one, I'll probably just put the rest of them, which I'm not worried about. He's got a little red heart. There's a red heart, almost threw that on the floor, and a little red heart there. So we're just going to do him brown, and then I'll put the white over top. I'm not worried about his hands on that. We got his little nose. Let me put that, well, no, it doesn't matter. And then we have the green and the holly. And I'm going to pull out my acrylic markers for some of this stuff too, so. Because, like these little hearts are just little. A lot of this stuff is little. We're definitely going to be using it for the red and white stripes. The little white in the gingerbread. I have some major, there's a message that just came across the screen. I have these really good, not major, I don't know where that came from. These really good acrylic markers are actually on Prime, so I'm going to show them to you, and I want you to see how they work. If you've never seen me with these, then this is the time to watch. So this is where I say our 1/4 inch comes into play. My 1/4 inch does have masking on it. So this is just tape that protects the wood, and you're going to have to take it off before you paint. So anywhere that's scored, it actually cuts the wood, so therefore you're going to have to actually pull that out also. Whereas I'll show you the other piece. And that's pretty much the only piece on the front we have to cut or paint, because so then all of these just come right on off. And you want to make sure there's nothing on the back. And I may just get these glued together so that they can sit. See, now this one has on the back. I'm not going to, well, if it comes off, it comes off. Huh. I'm not going to worry about the sticker from the store. But I am now. Because it came off easy. And then our last piece. So the masking comes off really easy. You can use your fingernails. I just don't have any, so I just use this little weeding tool. I use it not for, well, I don't use this one anymore. I use it for in the laser trying to poke things out. Other than that, I used to use it for the vinyl cutouts, but, and you will find, if you want to wipe them down, that's fine. You will find that, because this is laser and it's cut with a laser, so there is far involved, you will see that the edges are black. Beautiful, isn't that pretty? So if you don't want to get it on your hands, just, you know, give it a little wipe down. You can always do this, let it sit to the side. I never suggest, don't wash it. Don't put it in the sink and actually wash it, because you can warp the wood that way. So you don't want a lot of moisture. A little bit is not going to hurt it. That'll dry quick. But, you know, just like your wood floors and anything in your house, you don't want to saturate it because it will warp. I am going to do my back piece. And again, you're not going to get it all off. So just kind of, and it does smell. If you wonder why, you know, you get the kits and they smell burnt, because it's done with a laser. It's done with a laser, so there's no getting around. I'm going to take one of the back pieces, and I'm just going to give it a coat of black, because I don't, you know, I just want the back finished. You can do it in whatever color you wish. I'm just going to stick with just black and just giving it a nice little finished look. I just got paint everywhere. And while I have the black out, I'm going to do his shoes, his feet. So these little wood kits are really, really adorable. I know not everybody is a gnome person, but, you know, I do lots of other shelf sitters. I love doing signs. I love doing shelf sitters. It's just, they're just so much fun for the holidays. Actually, any time of year. They're just fun. So I'm going to give his little feetsies a coat of black too while I'm out with the color. So if you guys are new to me, I want to welcome you in. Thank you for being here and watching. I do put about 4 videos out per week, sometimes more, sometimes less, but usually I try to go for about 4, just depending on what's going on that week or what's not going on. And then I do go live on my Facebook page currently. Every night we play, we just hang out. So I put the videos out every day and go live, but we don't craft live. I know that makes sense, but so I'm going to get that dry real quick, because I'm going to throw these guys together and get them, let them sit up for a while. While we work on the front pieces. Really, we've got green, brown, white, and red. That's pretty much all the colors we're going to be working. Oh, we got a peach color for his nose. But that's pretty much all the colors. And this is about 6 inches tall. He is really thick. He's got 4 layers plus the 1/8 inch layer in the front. So if you don't want to make him that thick, you don't have to make him that thick either. The kits do come with all of the belongings. If you don't want to use them, that is up to you. You know, maybe you just want to use him for a wreath, or you just want to use the front piece. You know, there's different options. Now, if that's what you're looking for and you don't want the entire chunkiness, I can do just the front 2 pieces. And so if you're just wanting for your tier tray, or if you want to put him on a wreath, because remember, there's so many options to do with these wood pieces. They don't necessarily just have to be for decoration on, you know, by themselves. They can be incorporated with things like wreaths and swags and I don't know, I'm trying to think of different things. But they're just so fun to make and put together. You know, I say don't rush things. I always like to make sure that I get these completely straight, because that'll take away from it. If the glue comes out, don't make a big fuss about it. I like to put enough on that it will squeeze out, because then I know that the glue is getting to the edge. If you put it directly on the edge, then you know the chances of all of it squeezing out is probably more than you think. Just like to give it a good hold. I am using the wood glue super glue from Dollar Tree. I really like it. I know some people are like, oh, it's just, it's really good glue. It holds nicely. It holds quickly. And this is where I say, you know, if when you're putting things together like this, take your time, just let it, don't rush things. I know I'm on here doing a video, and if it's not what you want to watch, you can scroll past, it's fine, but I want to make sure that this is nice and even, and it holds in all the areas until I get the next piece on. Now you could put clamps on it. I think we're good. That's why I said I like this glue, because it does. Now if I need to pull this apart, like oopsie, I still have time, but it's got a nice good hold. It does take 24 hours to completely put together. The glue part is what I'm talking about. All right. So you have that opportunity. Alright, and then we're going to put this guy on the back of this, because this is our back piece. So I like to put it around the edge a little bit more so that we can let that glue come out. So I know it's going to squish to the edge. See, when I know it's coming to the edge, then therefore, if it's coming out, I know it's going towards the edge. Give it a good hold. Hold it for a few seconds. Like I said, if you have clamps, even the ones from the Dollar Tree are not going to hold this thickness, especially when I put the front one on. this wants to come apart. No, you stay together, you. Let me try and see if it'll work. Let's get a little clamps out. See if we can get it on there. And then we'll let this sit. See, it kind of moved. Hold on. There we go. And all right, let that sit to the side while we paint all our other stuff. And then hopefully it'll be, I got glue all over my fingers. All right, so now on our front guy, I got a plate full of everything over here. I'll throw this one in the trash can. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna do him red, so his outfit's gonna be red. I don't know, because we're doing his hat white, we'll do his outfit red. So this score mark here, which you see here, is just for the placement of our little other piece over here. So we don't really need to worry about it being there. We do want to be able to see it a little bit, but we don't need to actually see it. I don't need to go above here. I'm going to go a little bit above, probably about there, and then just come down. Because his hat goes there, so we know that's going to be covered. Give us all paint. I do like to use the foam brushes because we're not really painting, we're just putting paint on. Does that make sense? Close enough. I'm going to give this a dry, and I'm going to give it another coat. Coat on here. And I think that's good. So we just did that to his body. And while I have the red out, we're going to do these little, just took the paint right through. I'm just going to do these two little hearts. I just ran this whole thing through. It's fine. It's fine. The crafter's best friend, baby wipes. I use this silicone mat because it just wipes right up. I do have this in my Amazon store if you guys are interested. And then you can find that link on my website, thoughtsofTreasures.com, which you will find a lot of my other kits over there. That is not a buying store. It's not a buying website. It's more of a looky-loo blogging kind of thing. But all of them pretty much are for sale. So just remember that when you're looking. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit to the side. I'm going to dry it. We are going to, I'll do the little red. Alright, I'm going to do all of these in white. Make sure I have one of these. But for these two pieces here that have the score marks in them, I'm making sure I can show you that. So how these have the score marks, I'm going to do everything in white, but then the red that we put over it is going to cover up that white. But we don't want to cover up our score marks because we want to be able to see where the red is going to go. So, with that being said, I'm going to do the white. I need some white first. That seems to be not opened. Let's do this then. Gonna be good. All right, so for these pieces I'm just going to paint, and then when I get to those I'll show you what I'm going to do. So we're just going to give these a white coat, and again, white, you know, you're probably going to have to do 2-3 coats. I usually end up doing about 2, but depending on the paint that you have, you could do more, you could do less. I'm not one to spend a fortune on paint. I think it all pretty much, you know, again, depending on what you're doing, if you have to do 50 projects, they're all the same, you know, you might want a better white. That way you don't have to sit there for hours painting white. But I'm just doing one, and I usually stick with apple barrel. That's what this is, just because it's inexpensive. It does the job. It's nice. There are other paints that are thicker, chalk paints that you can use, but of course the price does go up on that. So we're going to get all this done, and then I'll dry and put on a second coat. Now, with these little score marked ones, I'm just going to take a little sponge. We're going to load on and load the paint off. And then I'm just going to simply dab. So less is more with this. Keep that in mind. Less is more. Kind of like in stenciling. And again, I'm going to decide if I'm going to put that piece on the front. I'm not sure I like it there. I don't think it's necessary. All right, now I'm going to dry everything, and then we're going to go with coat number 2. But see how the score marks are just, you can see every bit of it. You didn't get paint inside of it. That's the part of dabbing or blotting or whatever. You just don't want to brush into it. It's keeping the paint on the surface. These are just some techniques I've learned over the years of doing these. If you guys are following me, for the month of July, I am doing all Christmas in July. Every project that I do is Christmas themed. I think for the most part, I haven't decided, but I think I'm going to do, we're in week 2 already. I think I'm going to just do wood kits for this one. I don't think I'm going to do any other projects, but I don't know, we may. There's so many kits that I have that, you know, I could do a whole year just of Christmas, but even some that I've done in the past that I will be redoing since I started on Facebook, and most of the videos that I have been deleted, and I really didn't worry about saving them all. I saved the ones that I really cared about. Not saying I didn't care about any of them, but they could be redone. I can redo the projects. It's nice to see how you've grown over the years. All right, and then I'm just going to go back over. Same thing, load on, load off, and then we're just going to dibby-dab. Dibby-dibby-dab. Dibby-dab on here. Here's my little girl. Alright. I think that looks good. Alright, anything else needs to be white? Not with this. Nope. Okay. Alright, I'm not going to waste the time to dry that. I'm just going to let that go while we do the rest of him. Alright, so on my little gingerbread man, I think I'm going to debate on a color to use. I don't know if khaki's going to be too light or too... Let's try khaki and see if it works. I don't want a dark gingerbread, but again, I'm going to do the same thing, the dabbing motion, only because there are score marks in there that I do want to keep. So I'm just going to cut this off, let that fall into the paint, and we're going to put some khaki on the plate and do the same thing. There's not too many brown colors, but that I care for. It's either they're too dark, too light, but we'll see how this works. I'm not one for mixing colors, so this might work. I was thinking about using I guess that will work. We'll let it work. Let's try that one. I was thinking about using nutmeg, but you know, I might have to go to the store and find some like I don't know, a different brown. This is too light. I think the nutmeg is too dark. So, you know, you kind of, I don't know, mix colors, Connie. No. I'm not a painter. I'm a crafter. I don't know all about the mixing of the colors. I think once we get the white on here, it's going to look so much better. And in the end, I think it's all going to turn out perfect. All right. I think that's good. I'm going to get this completely dry in a second. But I am going to pull, let's see. Let me get white. I need some black. I do need a green. And a red. So these are the markers that I'm talking about. They are on Prime right now. Oh, there we go. They are amazing. They do come, these are the fine tip, but they do come in the rounded ones. They do have different quantities, like, you know, a 12-pack, a 6-pack, 16, up to, you know, bukus. And they have, like, pastel versus bold, things like that. So there's all kinds of different varieties. I do have an Amazon storefront, and I do have them in there. So if you guys want to check them out, you can go to mythoughts2treasures.com, go to my link tree, and that will take you right to my Amazon storefront by just click, click, click. So with these, you don't have to constantly shake them and, you know, dot, 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 trying to get the paint out. They're so easy. So I'm just going to use these to just go in here and go around and paint up. And again, like with any color, white, you do have to maybe go back and do a second coat. Ooh, go blind, staring at it. Let's do his little headpiece. Oops, I just marked myself. I do want to go back in and fix a little boo-boo. I just want a real hard pen. What you doing down there, little girl? Where's the other one at? And then these brushes are, I just got these off of Temu probably like last year. They're just nice little detailing brushes. So then we have our little, I think he's okay. He's gonna work. He'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna do 3 little buttons with black. And I didn't dry this, so I'm gonna be careful. I have to stick my fingers in the white. So these are real, like I said, they're just nice fine point. You don't have to, you know how in a lot of them you have to get the ink out, the paint out. It's not like that. It's really good. All right, now I'm gonna remove him so I don't stick my finger in it. Connection. Let that dry over there, and then I got 2 more pieces to paint. That is our little holly leaves, and I don't know, they don't have names of the color on them, so you just got to go by what they look like. I think they're fairly accurate, the color of the lids. And then let's get this leaf. What's the matter? My little dog's down here. Oh, my feetsies. And just like with regular paint, if you go over it twice, you get a better coverage. It takes less time for it to dry. They are really, really good paint markers. If you are in the market, that's definitely the brand to check out. Like I said, they're pricey, but you know what? Sometimes, and I'm not saying extremely pricey, but there are cheaper ones out there. But you get what you pay for. I have been through so many, and now that I found these, I don't think I'd try another brand. and then we'll get that. And like I said, the point on these are just so awesome. It's just awesome. And I put that back over there, and I'm gonna get some peach. Look at that, peach is just sticking out. This is a multi-surface. It's okay. It is what it is. It is the only one that I have that's peach. Peach is a hard color to find too. They don't have it out much. Oh, I do need that red back. I forgot. Let me get his nose done. All right, I'm going to dry that real quick and see if I have to put another coat on here. Put one more coat on. All right, we'll let that dry to the side. And I'm going to get that red back out. Because I'm going to do our little, I'm going to actually take these off so that they're not in my way. For any chance of getting red on them. Alright, so we're just going to do them candy cane stripe, red, white, red, white, red. Doesn't matter where you start. So we're just going to start here. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this piece or not, but we're going to do it anyway. Phew, go blind looking at it. Staring at the lines. Actually, I'm going to do this way. Then I can go back. Now I can go back this way and fill it in the other way. And this last one. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing with the other one. And we'll start right at the end with the red again. This is his little hat brim. That's what it's called. Well, no, not really. Whatever it is. The ribbon around his hat. And this one. And then this one. I'm telling you, these markers just cover up so beautifully. I'm going to turn this around. And so quick. And then the last one right here. I mean, simple as that. Look how beautiful that is. Perfect. Get yourself some, I don't even know how to say it, ARRTX. Awesome, awesome, awesome markers. All right, that is it. Now we can start putting it together. I am going to give this a quick dry. And bring our little guy back over here. So I'm going to put the front, yeah, I think I'm going to put the front on first. Hopefully we can see if we can get that on nicely. Maybe there's, I left it open. Don't leave your glue open. It will dry out quickly. I mean, even if you have to just set something heavy on top of it while it's gluing down, do it in stages. Y'all see that? Let's see if I can do it again. You got to poke somebody's eye out with that. That was funny. I don't know where it went to. Now, don't be too concerned about the glue being on here. If for some reason you see it, we can paint over that. I mean, if you can wipe some of it off, that's great too. But it does dry clear. I'm going to put another one over here. We're just going to let this sit for a few. Well, I'd have a fourth one, but see, they barely fit on there. Just need a tiny bit bigger. I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but yeah, if you ever get anything on the sides or you see colors through them, you can just take your acrylic marker or Sharpie or regular paint and just paint over that. Works perfect. All right, so give that a few seconds to dry. Let me put these stuff away. Before we start putting the other items on, I can start laying them out. Actually, I'll probably put this on. We can glue this stuff on. And then that goes there. So these kits can be really fun to make. You can be more creative. If you have the artistic ability in you, you can paint these in any way more creative. I'm more plain Jane, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do try new techniques, and when I try them, I like to share them with you. I learn as I go. We're good. All right, I think the rest I'm going to have to take the clips off. So I'm just going to give it just a couple more seconds. Just give it a couple more seconds to put these paints away real quick. All right. I think we should be good. to remember to go find that clip that flung across the room. Get the extra glue off. Like I said, you see that now. If it's a problem later, it's okay. We'll fix it. All right, then we can finish putting him together. Let's put his hat on next. And I'm not using much for this. I did use more for the pieces there because I really want them to stick good. From the thickness, you don't want them coming apart. I want to make sure that the glue came to the edge. And like I said, if you don't want him this thick, you can not order him thinner, or you could just not use the extra pieces. That's going to put right up there. Now I will probably go back because you're going to see that. I always be mindful that if you see something on the opposite side, to go back, and I will fix that up with the marker, and I'll show you how. And then we're going to get his little, let's get his little hat rim too. Put his little hat rim on. This just gives him some dimension. Put his little hat rim. Just, I know people love gnomes and they love gingerbread. Make sure it's on. Okay, then we're going to get his little rim. This is going to go above the hat rim. And I'm just going to put a little bit on. Most of it went on my fingers. So cute. And we'll get his little feetsies on. Now make sure you put the feet on the proper way. The feet are going to go up like so he's flat down. And again, there's another, and we'll fix it on the back. We got to do the other one anyway. I like to sit him up, make sure that they're flush. Glue everywhere. So far, so cute. And then let's put the little nose here. Let's get his nose on so he can breathe. And then we're going to put his little hearts on. So this heart's going to go up here on his hat. Put that there. And stuck to my finger. Just make sure you get it in there. Alright. And then the last piece we have, and like I said, I'm still debating. But I'm going to embellish a little bit. Put that. And again, I'm going to fix the backs to this all, but I am going to go back in with some white paint. And I always suggest if you have white paint out, use new. Just use some new paint, because that might be a little clumpy. It might be a little... You don't need a whole lot. But I'm going to go in and give him like little not highlights. I don't know what you want to call it. Just decorative parts. And if you're not good with this, I always look at the inspiration picture too. So, you know, just do what you got to do. And let's go this way. So we're just stuck with that first. Just gives it a little character on it. I'm gonna go in here with these leaves. Just kind of where this black line is, kind of just brush some white in there. I always say make sure you just use one brush for this. I have this one set aside. It's very pointy. Oh, I'll show you each step of the way. So just adding a little bit of something to him, and I'm going to do it across to the bridge of his nose, and I'm going to put some, ever see those little dots? I'm going to put some of them on. I'm actually enjoying doing that. It just gives the whole project a little bit of something. And again, I'm still learning how to do this. This is not my expertise. And I think I'm just going to put some, all right, let's just leave it that, and then I'll show you how I put the little dots in. So I just wipe this off. I almost like it to be, and don't make sound, but I like it to be extremely hard. So if you don't get it washed out, you know how it dries out like that? I actually like it like that, because then you have more of a kind of a pencil kind of thing going on, rather than, oh shoot, let me find my thingy, hold on. So, I like to use this thing. This is from the Dollar Tree. I think it's a scorer, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to like just put some little dots around. So I like to dip, and then we're just going to dot. Just like so. See? And if you do one dip, you can do, it gets smaller. And we're going to do the same thing on his nose. So one dot, one dip, and you get three dots. 3 dips and 3 dots. Now I'm going to put over here, I'm just going to put some dots. And then over here, we do the same thing. to give it a little bit of something. I think I'm going to put a little something on the heart. The heart looks boring to me. Now the little one's too little. I ain't doing nothing with that. Maybe we can put a little... just a little swoop on there. And then maybe do... I know it sounds wrong because I know we should always clean our paintbrushes. But the harder it gets, then it just... And I usually mostly use it for white anyway, so... I'm going to use a tiny, tiny one. And we're going to do the same thing. I think it's cute. It's so cute. Now that is still wet, so be careful. By being careful, I mean me. So now, I don't think I'm going to use this. I'm just going to put that aside. Maybe we'll use it on something later. It's supposed to go across the bottom of his feet, but I don't want it there. I think he looks cute just like that. So, we're going to give him a good dry, and I'm going to fix the back for you and show you. So I'm just going to take my little thing, make sure this is all dry, and actually I'm just going to hold it, and I'm just going to paint and cover this up. You can do this with a paintbrush, you can do this with regular paint, you need to do it with I was like, what is that? With a Sharpie, that's fine too. I'm just painting the back where these pieces stick out. So like how you see them, I'm trying to get rid of them. Simple, simple, simple. And I think pretty much good from there. So, this is what I finally have at the end. So stinking cute. I absolutely love it. So, that is my little project for tonight. Great for a little tier trace, just great for sitting around. If you are interested, you are more than welcome to comment the word gnome, and I can get you the information for that. But if you want to see them on our live sale, you can probably do that on, well, the schedule is on my website. I'm not sure what day it is anymore, but there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight in my craft room. And remember, thoughts become things and things become treasures. I will see you in the next video.